Friends in Recovery, the Addiction Recovery Podcast, is brought to you by the Friends in Recovery community, a thriving network of individuals who are fighting back against the stigma of addiction. Join our hosts as they speak up about the real issues of addiction, treatment, and recovery. Friends in Recovery, the Addiction Recovery Podcast, is available on Facebook, Podbean, iTunes, and YouTube 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now, here are your Friends in Recovery.
Welcome, everybody, to the Friends in Recovery Podcast with Jersey Ed. I'm your host, Jersey Ed, along with my two co-hosts, Buckeye Bambi, give us a wave, and Super Beth. What's up, ladies? How's everybody doing today?
Woohoo!
Wait. Hold on a second. Why does everybody have a hat on?
I don't know.
What's up with that?
Well, that's because when I jumped on, I saw Ed's hat and I said, look, I just got this hat in the mail from my best friend. So let's all wear hats.
And I got on after my power went back on and Bambi was like, where's your hat? And I was like, I don't have a hat. And I literally look right to my left and there's a rando hat just sitting on my table. So I put it on.
All right, there you go. And I just happen to have a hat on because, well, first of all, it's the Lucky Clover hat. So ever hear of a Lucky Clover? I just happened to throw it on because Stacy gave it to me before she left, and I just threw it on. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Here, I'll throw my hat on, and it's a Lucky Clover.
Away we go.
So Tony Robbins wears the Lucky Clover hats, but his hat is probably 1,000 times more than what my hat costs. So, so yes, Lucky Clover. So that's it. So everybody's doing good. Everybody got their hats on, got their coffee. We were just talking before the show about how cold it's going to get all over the country. Joe joined us. Jordan's here. Who else? We got CH is here. Derek is here. We got a lot of people listening today. So, or watching or whatever you want to call it. No, Joe, this is not a meeting. It's a podcast, And that's what we do when we come on here on Facebook Live, a podcast. Sort of a meeting, right, ladies?
Yeah, talking about the 12th tradition. So
That's it. 12 traditions today. So, but real quick, before we start the 12 traditions, I want to give out the podcast hotline. It's 800-989-6504. You can reach us on that. It's not an emergency, of course, but if you want to talk about any recovery, if you want to figure out how to get into recovery or need a sponsor or whatever, call that phone number. Emails, guys, something new here. Right? We all got email addresses to match our names now. That's how high tech we are here. So a couple email addresses. Of course, there's always help at friendsinrecoverypodcast.com. That's never going to go away. But we have Super Beth, who started everything with these emails, right? So it's superbeth22@gmail.com. That's Beth's. Then Buckeye Bambi's is, of course, buckeyebambi22@gmail.com. And my email is, yes, no, it's not. Not what you think. It's jerseyed2018@gmail.com.
you had to be the oddball.
I had to be the oddball. So if you need those email addresses, just put us in the chat, get in the chat or whatever. But Carl will probably put it up here so you guys will have them all here. Our website is up and running, friendsinrecoverycommunity.org. That's where all the meetings live. That's where these podcasts live. That's where help lives. That's where, everything, you name it about Friends in Recovery, it's on there. And I'd like to thank all of our donors to help that website live, because without you guys, we cannot do this. So if you'd like to make a donation, Venmo us at Friends in Recovery Enterprises under business. Cash App is $ Friends in Recovery. And you can send that good old check to Friends in Recovery Enterprises, P.O. Box 1551, Johns Island, South Carolina. Friends in Recovery is now part of the FIR network. Go to our website to see what that is all about, friendsinrecoverycommunity.org. Guys, I got a Friends in Recovery adventure announcement here. Can I do it?
Yes, please do it. Let everyone know. So
is this the place to do it? All right.
This is the place.
This is the place to do it. So in February 10th through the 12th, we're doing a winter camping trip. That's right. Jersey Ed's going to be there. It's filling up quick. We have 12 spots open. I think we have one more boy spot, and we have about 3 girl spots left. There's going to be 2 different lean-tos, men in one, women in the other. and we're going to have fire. We're going to have the hiking, cold plunges. We're going to have all that stuff. But here's the
cold plunges.
Well, I'll be doing a cold plunge.
You do the cold plunge.
Yes. Me and my best friend, John, did it last year. We're going to do it again this year, even if we have to break the ice. All right. So we're going to do it. So that's a $50 donation if you want to go. What we're going to do on Saturday night, the 11th, for a $25 donation, we're going to have a special campfire 12-step meeting, right? It's going to be a different code. It's going to be a different, password and all that to get on. It's going to be a different time. So you have to make a donation to come to this meeting. So you'll be around the campfire with us. We'll run a meeting just like we normally do, but this is a way to raise funds for Friends in Recovery. So please email Bambi at buckeyebambi22@gmail.com for more information. And when you make that donation, she will send you the link to the meeting. So it's February 11th. I believe we said 8:15.
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. Let's see. What else do we have here? This week's topic is Tradition 12, ladies. Tradition 12. So stay tuned for some amazing recovery. Any shout outs, which I didn't have any. Any shout outs?
I have one shout out this week. It's my sponsee, Cindy, actually shared her story for the first time, which we all know is such a big deal, and she did amazing and was able to share her experience, strength, and hope with us. And that was just, I'm so proud of her. So she's like all in. She's working it. And then I want to give it's not a sober shout out per se, but a shout out to my brother Chuck, because he has been so supportive to me. And as I'm coming near my 1 year, and he's going through some health problems right now, and but he doesn't let anything stop him. And I get so much inspiration from him and being around him. And he's so unbelievably positive, and just he's been like my rock through. He's been through a lot with me, as you can imagine. So I want to give him a shout out for just being him.
Yeah. And Chuck has been by your side the whole recovery, the whole recovery way. So absolutely. Yeah, Chuck. And I know he listens all the time. So we love you, Chuck. And, keep on keeping on. That's all we can, that's what we say here. So what else do we have? Any other shout outs, Beth?
So my sponsee, Sandy, her anniversary is today.
All right. Sponsee Sandy, anniversary. All right. That's a big deal. Somebody else is coming up on an anniversary too. You, Bambi.
2 weeks from today, I believe. So yeah,
that's right. And that's it. That's exactly it. So we'll have a big celebration on that one. And we do also have to celebrate Bambi. All right. I don't have any shout outs right now. No, I do have a shout out real quick. I want to thank the Friends in Recovery podcast. I want to thank Bambi and Beth and everybody along the way for this past year, because it's almost New Year's. We just passed Christmas and New Year's is coming, and it's going to be it. That's going to be it of the 12 steps. That's going to be it of the monthly breaking it down and learning it and doing what we have to do. So I really want to thank you ladies too. A shout out to Beth and Bambi for really putting this together and making it happen. Well, all three of us definitely kind of made this go and really took the tail end of the steps and ran with it. And I think it just did an amazing job of things. So thank you, ladies. So shout out to you guys. So
I'm excited for the new year though, guys. So stay tuned for lots of great meetings or podcasts coming up in the new year.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah, definitely. It's going to be a whole new format. We're going to have topics. We're going to have months of a topic of the month. We're going to have guests and you name it. So it's going to be there. The one thing I do want to talk about, that heart contest, ladies. I think I
want to talk about that too.
I know me and Beth have nothing to say about the heart contest. I told everybody we would give the results. I can't even count how many hearts Bambi had. It's just way too much. And the only hearts that Beth and I got were from Jordan. That was it.
I got some from Jordan too, though.
Well, yes. So that's that. So Bambi ends up winning that heart contest. Let's do it again. Let's see what happens. In the comment below, put your favorite person, heart-wise. Bambi is purple. Beth is orange. Jersey Ed is blue. So let us know, let us know who you're sending your love to. Yes, Jordan, you try to spread the love around. Absolutely. We know that. But we have to get, Jordan puts every other heart. That's funny.
That's why we love Jordan.
Yes, she definitely came from my family because we cannot make decisions. I can tell you that.
Super Bowl got a bunch of orange hearts. I think she's going to win this week.
All right, super. So get everybody on it. Let's go, guys. Let's see who we can win the heart contest this week. So, and here it is, ladies.
Question of the week.
That's right.
Question of the week.
It is. What is something you always wanted to learn? What is something you always want to learn? Everybody in Facebook land. Welcome everybody in Facebook land, and thank you for joining us. But what is something that you always wanted to learn? We're asking that in Facebook. We're asking that in you guys. If you want to put comments below, please do that. But we're going to go with Beth first because she did not know what the question of the week was, and we're going to put her on the spot. And I loved her answer in her text thread too. So I would personally go with that answer, but that's up to you.
I'm going to. I would like to learn how to go to sleep until 2 weeks from now.
That's it. I love that answer. Learn how to go to sleep from 2 weeks from now, but you're gonna miss all the fun.
I'm good with that.
So wake up on like January 2nd would be good.
Like the 5th.
The 5th. Oh, you want to stretch it out? Okay. All right.
All right. Get some sleep. Get some good.
That's right. You might as well go for it all. That's right.
Oh yeah.
Oh God. How about you, Beth? So Bambi, Beth wants to sleep till January 5th. Do you want to sleep till January 6th?
No, I don't want to miss anything. So even the craziness, although I plan to spend most of it indoors, not outdoors in this freezing weather. So, I started piano lessons when I was 6 years old, and I took piano lessons for about 6 years. But I was so young that I never really, my instructor quit, and like I grew up in a small town and she was the only one that taught piano around there. So when she quit teaching them, I quit pretty much. It just went by the wayside. But I would love to take piano lessons again and get really good at playing the piano. Right now, I can play The Entertainer by Billy Joel by heart and Happy Birthday. That's it.
Happy birthday.
I don't remember how to read music. It's just that was a recital piece. So I remember it only from that. And I'm not sure I would remember it 100%, but that's it. The 2 songs I can play by heart. And so I want to do that again.
You should do that.
Yeah, you should do that.
And
then play it on here. You can do the piano thing on here.
Yeah, happy birthday. When anyone's birthday, all I need is a piano.
That's it. So if you want to send a piano, email Bambi at. Now, we might as well throw these emails around because we got them. So
right.
Oh God! So you want to learn how to play the piano?
Yeah.
More than just 2 songs.
Right.
Beth is sleeping till January 5th. 6th. Bambi is playing the piano. And it's funny because I have a instrument too, but there's 2 things. I was kind of undecisive. So two of my daughters are learning, or one daughter learned Spanish and the other one is learning French. And I always when my daughter was taking French in high school, I always wanted to learn French, but I never learned French. So that's one thing that I wanted to learn. And I did play the guitar earlier when I was younger, and I just didn't pick it up. I just wasn't. My grandfather was very musical, or very kind of a musically inclined. I don't know if I am or I'm not. I just never put much into it. It just wasn't for me at the time. But I would love to learn how to play guitar. So, that's kind of my thing. So that's the question of the week. And let's see what yours is. Oh, Jordan
wants to learn to speak Spanish or some other language. She took French, but can't remember it. See, I took 4 years of Spanish. I did 4 years of Spanish. Do you know what I remember?
What?
Open the window and give me a beer. Which doesn't help me much as,
today
a sober woman.
So I know French. I know one word in French.
We?
We. It means to pee.
Yes.
Right? I think it does.
Here's a joke for you.
Go ahead.
If you're Italian in the kitchen, what are you in the bathroom?
French. Oui.
European.
European. That's good. That's good. Well, this show is definitely going south. Wait till we get into tradition 12. You think it's bad now? Because we're all scratching our heads wondering what tradition 12 is. And it's actually pretty simple. I think it's a pretty long tradition in the book. No, it's not. It's only a couple pages, but tradition 12 is anonymity is the spiritual foundation of all of our traditions, ever reminding us to place principles before personalities. Now, Bambi's going to read a little bit on that because we're going to go into it a little bit. I can go off on it a little bit, but let's go a little bit deeper from Bambi. Bambi's going to do a couple of readings for us on tradition 12.
The spiritual substance of anonymity is sacrifice. Because AA's 12 traditions repeatedly ask us to give up personal desires for the common good, we realize that the sacrificial spirit, well symbolized by anonymity, is the foundation of them all. It is AA's proved willingness to make these sacrifices that give people their high confidence in our future. But in the beginning, anonymity was not born of confidence. It was the child of our early fears. Our first nameless groups of Alcoholics Anonymous were secret societies. New prospects could find us only through a few trusted friends. The bare hint of publicity, even for our work, shocked us. Though ex-drinkers, we still thought we had to hide from public distrust and contempt.
So that's the first two paragraphs on page 184 in the 12 and 12. So that kind of gives you a good start on what tradition 12 kind of is. I know Bambi has a little bit more that goes a little bit deeper and kind of explains a couple things about it, more of in a 2022 way.
Okay, the overarching message of AA's Tradition 12 is that we are all equal. Anonymity offers us the ability to walk into any meeting the same common purpose of our fellows to stop drinking and using and recover. Anonymity allows us to embrace humility. All social and financial status is left at the door. We are free to share and listen to one another openly, and when we do this, we're able to learn from people from all walks of life. Suddenly, we realize that we have much in common with people we may never have met had AA not been in our lives. With all that's going on in the social and political world around us, the uncommon love offered to all in AA is a welcome and educational respite. In AA, our principles guard us from unfair judgment and stereotyping that the outside world clings to. It's a beautiful thing to be a part of. There is a healing in our equality that is unmatched in the outside world. So Tradition 12 allows us to sit side by side and learn about sobriety from anyone. For people like me who walked into recovery feeling less than, Tradition 12 allows us the chance to feel accepted before we accept ourselves. That is an amazing gift to receive and an incredible gift to give others. And then Tradition 12 tells us we must put principles before personalities. This means we practice the principles of AA, such as honesty, humility, and making amends over personality conflicts. Personality conflicts will arise. That's part of life. But knowing that we are to put principles before personal differences and drama is a great guidepost. It isn't always easy, but it always works. Keeping our side of the street clean. We are responsible for our behavior only. So I think with that, I'll stop.
Keeping our side of the street clean, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like that, but if you read the short version of it, it could be almost into two steps if you think about it. And anonymity is the spiritual foundation of our traditions, of reminding us that could be one part, right? Anonymity, and then placing principles before personalities, right? Right. It should be tradition 13, maybe, but I want to read a couple definitions here. And anonymity, the condition of being anonymous, right? So I like the part where it said sit side by another alcoholic or another addict or another person in recovery to get recovery. I love that. And I think anonymity in that case doesn't mean that you're making $200,000 and I'm making $50,000. You know, we're going to help each other. I'm a biker and you're a lawyer or a doctor. You know what I mean? I think that anonymity brings us all on the same page. It doesn't matter what social background we come from. It doesn't matter what financial background we come from. All we want to do in AA is just recover, right? It doesn't matter. You could be rich or poor. And you can recover for the same price, either $0, $1, whatever it is. It's all the same thing. So I love that reading of anonymity. And of course, anonymous, when you get out of the rooms, what do we say? It's okay to say that you were here, but please don't say, it's not okay to say that I was here. And I respect that too, because I believe that's becoming less and less. I tell everybody I'm in recovery. Obviously, we tell the whole world we're in recovery by sitting on here and telling people. And I tell people, you can tell people I'm in recovery. It doesn't bother me. But who am I to say that about you? You know what I mean? And that is the important piece, because sometimes, especially when I came in, I was ashamed. Right. I was ashamed of everything. And I didn't want anybody to know when I was going to AA. I didn't want anybody to know that I had a problem drinking, but everybody fucking knew that I was drinking. Everybody knew that I had a problem. Right. So I get it, but it's something that we have to kind of slide down that hill, because anything at the beginning, I know for me, would have took me right back out. Oh my God, they told this when I'm in recovery. I would be like, see you later. This place sucks, right? I don't want anybody to know that I fucked up, right? And then that's the first part to me, tradition 12. The second part, the definition for a principle is most important, first or highest, value, chief or foremost. That is principle. The personality is the visible aspect of one's character as it is impressed on others. So I think right there, principles before personalities is just clear. You want to just kind of have that utmost high respect for the program, for other people, for all the steps, for your anonymity, for everything, right? And that principle needs to be kind of held up there. So that principle to me is respecting what the other person wants and needs, right? And understanding their wants and needs. The personality is that, I can't put my personality out first. I'll tell everybody I'm in recovery and my sidekick is Bambi and Beth and blah, blah, blah. That is not, that to me, and again, I could be wrong here, but the personality part, I get it, because that's ego, right? To me, anyways, it's ego. All right. Let me tell you how I'm doing in AA. I think even a couple of traditions back, attraction rather than promotion, right? Attraction. That is not attraction when saying, oh yeah, this AA stuff is great. Look at what it did for me, blah, blah, blah. It's in our actions. It's in what we do, how we do it, when we do it, where we do it. Just being, like I always say, just being a good human being, right? Being a good human being. That's how we get to this point. And this tradition, I guess it's at the end for a reason, because we're going through all this. And then at the end, we want to go shouting out to everybody saying, oh yeah, I'm in recovery. But we have to kind of take a step down and understand. To me anyways, I have to take a step down and understand. I just can't go blurting it around to everybody that I seen Beth and Bambi and everybody in the meeting. So to me, that's what tradition 12 means. I don't know if you guys have some other stuff, or if you just want to end the show here and we can call it a day. It's up to you guys. But what's tradition 12 to you guys?
Go for it, Beth.
I guess we're ending the show.
I really still digesting a lot of what Bambi read. In that like it's a level playing field here. Mm-hmm. And it really is. Like, I feel like, listen, one of the things that I feel most stupid about, and also one of the things people appreciate about me most. So I got sober when I was 17. So I feel like I was raised in AA. Mm-hmm. And I was raised thinking it's always a level playing field. So you can put me in the room with a CEO or a highfalutin politician or a movie star or a homeless person or a grocery store worker. Like, to me, they're all the same.
Mm-hmm.
They're all the same. And I learned that here, that when I see people and I meet people and I ask them, how are you? Like, I mean it.
Yeah.
And in fact, like, I don't know about you guys, but like, if I'm like, hey, what's up? How you doing? And they're like, fine. I'm like, what's really going on? Like, somebody says they're fine to me, and it's like, I'm going to kill myself, and I'm not telling you. Right? I don't know. And then what you said about anonymity and humility was that's still kind of going on inside my head somewhere, where it's like, when I make amends, or I have my girls do amends. So if I owe Uncle Joe $400 and he absolutely refuses the $400, we do an act of random kindness, or we donate that $400 to something, and we do it anonymously for the humility of it, right? Because I'm not doing this to make myself feel good.
Yes.
I mean, but I'm doing this to make amends for my past so that I can be free, because being free is way more important than feeling good. So, so when you're kind of talking about like the humility with anonymity, like, I think we carry that into our daily lives too. Like, I will walk into wherever I am, and you guys wouldn't know this because I never shut up, but most of the time when I go into a new environment, I just listen. Because I'm really trying to find like I'm not better. Like, if I walk into a room and I just start talking, I do one of two things. I either start acting like I'm better than everybody, or I start acting like I'm worse than everybody. And that act of humility is to be right-sized. So like, when I go into a new situation, and it's funny, my daughter does this too. I like being the first one there and watching everybody come in and observing and saying, where can I find common ground with the other people in my surroundings? And how can I connect on a genuine level to make everybody feel equality, right? That's what an even playing field really is. It's equality.
I like that.
And what's interesting is that we've been talking about the word equality in our culture a whole lot over the last couple of years. It just dawned on me that we've mastered it in AA. And I think that's really cool.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Quality, absolutely. Leveling the playing field, right? I love that, because when we walk in, it doesn't matter what color we are, what race. Again, like I said, what kind of money we make. We're all in there one reason. No politics exist in that room. You're not left. You're not right. You're not whatever, you're not a Buckeye fan. You're not a Michigan fan. Well, you still are, but the blame, I love it. And that's quality. That's somewhere where I want to be, right? That's somewhere where I want to be, because we can always find those, those left and rights. We can always find the Michigan and Ohio State. We can always find the Yankees in Boston. We can always find that anywhere we go, right? And most of the time, I know I create that friction because sometimes I like living in that. But when I get into that room, I know it doesn't matter. I have one thing in common with everybody in that room. If it's 2 people or 102 people, I have one thing in common. It's recovery, right? And I was listening to our show the other day, and I forgot who said it on it, but I think maybe I said it, but I love it when the comment one of us made, I'm not here because of my using, I'm here because of my recovery, right? That's why. Especially when we talk about, when you share a story, we can go into the drunk-a-log, but that is just where we were at, just kind of qualifying us. I want to hear, how did you get from your sobriety date to here? Because that's the meat of the shit I need to know. Right. I know how to fuck up. I know how to use. I know how to cause problems. I know how to get arrested. I know all that. And that's okay. I get your story. But I listen when it comes to the experience, strength, and hope. I dig into that because I need to know how they do that, right? And that person I may have nothing in common with. I may not even understand what they do, how they do it. They might be black, I might be white, whatever it is. That's the thing that brings me in. And that's quality, Beth. Like you said, it's quality, level playing field. And when I go to a meeting, there's nothing else there, zero. And that's what this tradition brings us, from my opinion anyway. So.
Yeah. And principles before personalities, love, patience, tolerance, humility, those are our cornerstones.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if the person sitting next to me, I have to keep my side of the street clean. So if I'm getting irritated, I got to look at myself.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Figure out, why am I getting irritated? Why is this bothering me? I have to keep my side of the street clean. So, I actually love this tradition now.
No, let me ask you later. Okay, Beth, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. If I'm I'm a Yankees fan, and if I'm sitting in a meeting and I see a Boston fan,
that's a thumbs up.
It's a thumbs up, but that's a thumbs down, because I'm all like, well, clearly you have no taste in baseball.
They don't, obviously.
Your principles before personalities, right? Like, and I think so. I actually read this. I'm going to take up a little time here.
Go ahead.
I read this in a grapevine quite a few years ago, like over a decade, maybe 2 decades ago. It was about a bunch of Palestinians were looking for a meeting and they couldn't find one. And they stumbled upon a meeting of Israelis. And they went into the meeting and they had an AA meeting and everybody stayed sober. That's principles before personalities on a level.
Yes.
Also on a level that we as Americans will never understand.
You're right.
Absolutely.
Like there's no way that us as Americans could dig as deep as those humans had to put principles before personalities. I remember reading this in the grapevine and it's stuck with me. This grapevine, I don't even get the grapevine. I don't even remember where I got that grapevine from, but I share that story more often than not because I think that it is the epitome of, if they can do that, then I can deal with somebody on the other side of the political scale, deal with somebody that has, some prejudices or some shit that I'm not okay with. If they can do that, then I can do that.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely. And that is a great story. I mean, if those two communities can come together, everybody should be able to. How many times did you go? I mean, early recovery, I would just go meeting after meeting after meeting. Oh, let's go to this meeting. I would hear somebody say, no, she's going to be there. Or no, he's going to be there. I'm like, what the fuck? Really? I mean, that's not what these meetings are about. We're here, one level playing field. I used to hear it all the time. I'm like, you know what? I just got to keep my side of the street clean when I go to these meetings. Never borrow money from anybody in AA. Never ask for favors for somebody in AA. Don't do favors for anybody, because that's not what AA is about. AA is not a phone book, guys. AA is to keep us sober. That's what AA is designed for. Now, do friendships come out of? Of course, yes. But we cannot use AA like a phone book or the internet or whatever, because some people do. And that's where resentments come in. That's where I can't go to this meeting. That's where anonymity is broken. That's where we're placing our personality before principles. That gets a whole new sketchy way of things, and I remember always going to meetings saying, I'm just going to do my thing, right? I'm going to do my thing, talk to my people, and then get out, because that's what AA is to me. That's what it does for me. Of course, building those relationships and talking about recovery when I'm at a meeting, not politics, not whatever, not the new car I got, or not the new whatever, the latest, boots or whatever. It's about recovery. That's what it's about. When I'm outside of that meeting and I'm talking to my sponsor and we get a little bit into it because we got this relationship going back and forth, that's where you do it. Because again, that's your personality. You're putting your personality. Oh, you see those new boots, Beth? You want those? Well, we're in an AA meeting. Dummy, shut up. Where's the principal part of it? But that's what, I'm saying. So if those two groups of people can get together like that, any of us could, so. I got a question for both of you ladies. How does the 12th tradition translate into your daily life?
Dude,
Well, I guess for me, it's I do try to keep my side of the street clean. I mean, my sponsor has taught me that, and that I need to, again, the placing principles before personality means we practice, those principles that are so dear to this program: love, patience, tolerance, humility. I have to strive for that every day on my side, so I guess I do that daily just by working this program. I try to do that. I strive, it's progress, not perfection. Right. So.
Yeah. And I don't think, and for me, I can't hit it 100% all the time. Sometimes I place my personality before principles. I do. I mean, I'm going to be honest. It's an honest program. And I think Beth got honest with us a couple shows ago where she just wanted to stay on the couch. Don't bother me for the whole weekend. I'm going to call it out like it is. That's personality before principles right there. But you come around to it. Okay, so I'm going to get off the couch. I'm going to start talking to my people. And that's the principle. You're back again to the highest quality, most important first things first. And it's your recovery. And it's okay to go back a little bit and just kind of sit in a cocoon. But we can't live there, because can you imagine living there, Beth, for the rest of your life? No.
Right? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, exactly. How would you use it in the everyday life? How would you use tradition 12?
We all put our shoes on, or our pants on, one leg at a time. What's that saying? Like you never know what be kind, because you never know what somebody's going through.
Yeah.
I have, on a very personal level, made a conscious choice to look at my prejudices and my racism over this past, I want to say a little over a year. Because that's the person I want to become, right? I am not overtly racist. I'm not overtly racist in any way, shape, or form. But my culture has taught me that when I see certain things, I should think certain things. And I gotta tell you, like, I know it's gonna sound crazy, but it's like, y'all know I'm a maniac in the car. Like, I'm from Jersey. So if you're not doing 80 miles an hour or above, I'm not kidding. I'm really mad at you. And if you're in the left lane and doing 80, anyway, I'll come up on somebody and they're not going fast enough for me, and I go whipping around them. Always look in the driver's window, because I'm an asshole. And if it is somebody of color, I immediately take a step back and be like, wow, way to wear your privilege, Beth. Because if I get pulled over, do you know what I mean? So if I got pulled over as opposed to a person of color, and believe me, the town I live in is super lily white. And a girl got pulled over walking to school. She was Black. She got pulled over walking to school, her school in our town, 12 times her senior year.
Oh my God.
By our town cops. So I made a choice, and this tradition holds me to a place. It teaches me to continuously put the principles that I choose to live on above what I've been taught. So I'm choosing to make new choices to create a reality that I'm more comfortable in living.
That's living the program.
Absolutely. Real quick, my battery is going to die, so I have to plug my computer in. I thought it was plugged in. So you guys talk a little bit, because I got to go under my desk to get it. But we could close the show if you want, actually, because I think we did a good job on this as far as everything goes. I just don't want my computer to die, because it's telling me plug it in. So maybe that's our cue to get out of here. Maybe God's saying it's time to go. Thank you, ladies, for this wonderful look at tradition 12. I didn't think we were going to be able to go this long. I'll be honest with you, on tradition 12. I didn't kind of, and that happens every time we do this. Every time we get on this show, we just feed off of each other and we understand it more. And you know what? Every time I leave the show, I understand the step or the tradition in a whole different and amazing way when I walk off the show every week. Every week we do that, and it's just amazing. I do want to thank you, ladies. Have a happy New Year. Just do your thing. New Year's, be safe.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. And I just want to thank you guys for making my dream come true on this podcast. Seriously, this year, from day one that we did this to today, is a dream. Now, I did steal this idea from Carl over at SoberPod. I can honestly say that they did this a couple years ago, but we put a little twist on it. We did with Jeff Zeisel, right? The spirit, the clinical look, and then we threw a tradition in there. So we did it a little bit different, but the same kind of thing. And I'll be honest with you. When I started this, I'm like, there's no way we're going to make it. It's just too daunting. And what do I know about the steps? Well, I've learned that I know a lot of shit about the steps. I'll be honest with you, a lot. And I have the proof to go back to all the shows, and you ladies know a lot about the steps, and I learned a lot more. So I know a lot more than I knew about the steps. So I just want to thank you, ladies, for being wonderful podcast hosts. This year was wonderful with you guys, and I'm looking forward to the next year together doing our thing. So that's all I got, guys. Everybody, stay sober and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year.
This concludes this episode of Friends in Recovery, the Addiction Recovery Podcast. Follow us on Facebook for past shows and updates, and enjoy free access to twice daily support meetings. Friends in Recovery, the Addiction Recovery Podcast, is available on Facebook, Podbean, iTunes, and YouTube 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.